And I thought I'd give you a quick tour of the M0JCF shack or mess. Depends how you want to look at it. The mainstay of my radio work for HF 6 meters will be the Kenwood TS590S. Above that we've got the dual bander. That's a Kenwood a TM 731E. I bought it originally to do satellite work because you can run both 2 meters and 70 sems at exactly the same time, which is useful, but I just haven't got round to it. So at the moment I'm just using it for 2 meters networks, etc. Above that we've got the TR751, also by Kenwood, 2 meter multi-mode. I use that for mainly SSB, don't use it for anything else. At the moment there's a 7-element beam outside on a Ken Pro rotator, and there's the controller for it. But the antenna's being replaced in the next couple of days with a 9-element LFA. But that's not gone down too well with the station manager. But you know, it's something that we'll put up, and if there's too many complaints, it'll come down again. I'm not precious about these things, you know. As long as you get a couple of days use out of it, it'll all be good. Above that is a trio TR7200G that was given to me by a work colleague, and he was going to dump it basically. It's not powered up at the back, but it's crystal controlled, works very well, puts out about 7 watts, and of course it's limited on the amount of channels, but a lot of them are repeater channels, and he lives in the north of England, so they're no good. But you know, you've got the call-in channel S20 and a few others. Above that is a I'm sure you know, is an ATU made by SEM Transmatch. Good for top band, that one. Just to the left of that is a 6 meter band linear amplifier. I'm not using that at the moment, but I have got an FT 817, so it gets used with the FT 817 by Yaesu. Above that, that's the Kodar AT5. I'm restoring that at the moment, so that is currently not working, but I've got a little mobile controller there, and I need to build the power supply for it as well, so that's coming later. Above that is an M0J pre-selector or pre-amplifier, and that's going to be used primarily with the Kodar AT5. I've got my UHF SWR power meter sitting on top of my 50 watt 70 sems amplifier, which also goes with the FT817. Just hidden in there is a Heath kit grid dip oscillator. Very useful piece of kit. If you haven't got one, I urge you to get one. Lovely piece of kit, still works, and I use that mainly when building coils, but especially for top band 80 meters, etc. There's my HF VHF meter. Below that, that's the FT290R. That one's in for repair. When I say in for repair, I bought it silent key, not working very well. Got all of the common, well, not all of them, but a lot of the common FT290R problems. So it's a little bit deaf on receive, a little bit quiet on receive, and transmit is intermittent. All known faults, all easily repaired. President Lincoln, I only use that for 10 meter band. I don't go free banding, I don't go on CB anymore. That one is the 6th or 7th one that I've owned, and the output is set to 10 watts SSB and 5 watts FM AM. So I've got the choice of using it with a linear amplifier, but I run QRP in sporadic E. In fact, I was working the Canaries on it tonight. We're using a 5/8 wave vertical. That little oddball there looks like a 2781 40 channel CB, which back in the day it was. It's now on 29 megahertz, and the high-low power switch there is also the 100 kilohertz shift. So it runs, if we can look at, I don't know if I get a picture of that, but effectively it runs from 2931 up to 29.7. So, you know, it covers the FM portion of 29 megahertz. As I say, it's got the repeater shift switch on it as well. I think I paid about £5 for that. I had a couple of them, but I've since moved others on. From the same place, I've got this TR 2200GX, 12 channels, crystal controlled. It's got S20 and a few other channels, the rest of them with the old repeater channels, but works really, really well. It's 1 watt output. It's got the antennas all intact and everything, even with the original trio microphone. A lovely little rig, a fantastic performer. I'm using it with a homebrew linear amplifier there. That will give me about 18-20 watts with that switched in, with 1 watt in, and sitting on top of it is a homemade LiPo battery pack for the same radio. Below it is the VFO30. I haven't got the cable for that at the moment. I need to make one up, and it uses B9A plugs, which I've only just sourced. Basically that will give me continuous coverage 144 to 146. I've actually got another one over there. There's a story behind that. Is I bought one after buying the rig, and I paid £5 for that rig. I bought one, and then the Silent Key estate come up to me and said, "Oh, we found this. Do you want it? Make a donation." So I gave them a tenner for it. And up here will be the 100 watt linear amplifier for 2 meters. I use that with the FT817. I haven't used it with any of the other rigs. I mean, this one's 50 watts anyway. That one's about 15 watts. I say that one's 10. That one should be 2.5. It probably is, but there's a raft of other problems. But as you can see, that one's 4 watts. You know, so a nice pile up of kit there. If we move over here, you can see another old girl there, nice hybrid trio stroke Kenwood TS 520S. A lovely piece of kit that. Once you learn how to drive them, they're lovely. I do love the old kit. I think they're quite a handsome radio as well. Of course, you haven't got digital readout and that, but you know, that's something that comes later. Sitting on top is a Trio TR9000 all mode 2 meter band. On top of that is the Micro BITX HF radio. Now that is just SSB CW, but it runs from top band, or is it 80 meters? Been a while, but runs from top band to 10 meters. But it's homebrew. You buy them as a kit, you assemble the kit, and then you build upon it afterwards. And the actual controller there is based on Arduino. So if you're a computer buff and you like your programming, then there's that added thing. It's not my game, that. I'm more just the radio side of things. And if we come over here, you can see we've got the classic Chinese 100 watt linear amplifier and a switchable low pass filter kit there that I built and put together. I've got quite a few of these amplifiers. I've been building them for other people. I'm going to be doing a tutorial soon, a video tutorial of how you assemble one pretty much from beginning to end, because the thing that puts a lot of people off is the transformers, these two transformers, because the documentation is quite scarce on the internet and on eBay where you buy them. They'll give you the schematic diagram, but you know, some people like to have proper, you know, how to build it from the ground up, including winding coils and that. But it's the same with the filter. You know, you have to wind all of those little toroids. It's not the end of the world, just a little bit of fiddly job. But you know, get yourself a cold beer, sit out on the patio and just wind away. So that's what I've got here. I've also got under construction a Whisper by QRP Labs. I've got their Whisper, and with the multi-band filter and the case and everything. I've got also by QRP Labs the QCX transmitter. What it is, people buy these kits and they buy them, they put them to one side, and then realise maybe it's not for them, so they sell them off and I buy them because I'm a magpie like that. And in fact, I think it's quite possible that it's all down here. Oh yeah, that was a homebrew signal generator, various other homebrew stuff. Over there is a multi-band crystal set somebody sold me, a few other pieces of kit. I've got kit all over the place, and then in my garage there's more kits. So I use the word kit as a generic term for radios, but I have got a lot more kit down in the garage, mainly receivers. I'll probably do a little video on those as well, but how far do you want to have somebody droning on about what kit they've got? I'm sure what you want to see is how the kit's put together, operated on, how, you know, linears are built, filters are built, that sort of thing. You know, that's what I aim to do. I don't really want to bore people too much with this channel. To be honest, another thing for setting up this channel was not to really showcase what I do. It's just that I was doing so many videos of me operating, putting them on social media, Facebook, etc., and it was just clogging up Facebook groups and that. You know, you want to have the choice of going to a channel, having a look and making your own judgment. What you don't want is it slapped in front of you on your news feed or whatever, you know, because they are very samey. Let's face it, it's like that, isn't it? Amateur radio with the operating, it's all samey, you know, some bloke droning into a microphone with a load of telephone numbers and trying to talk maybe another language every now and again, and having someone the other end of the line who basically English isn't his language. So, you know, you'll get a basic report swapping, maybe a few technical details, maybe the weather, you know, and you know, it happens time and time again. And how many videos of those can you actually make? I don't know. But anyway, this is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot. Hope to catch you on air sometime. You'll find me QRV 10 metres, especially during sporadic E-season. 17 and 15 I do operate. Not big anymore on 20 or 40. You'll find me on, if you've got a full licence, you'll find me on 6 megahertz, sorry, 5 megahertz, get it right, 60 metres, 5 megahertz. You'll find me there quite often, and I'll be on 80 metres. When I'm on the lower bands, I tend to like to collect your worked all Britain square. So if you get me and you know it, please stick it my way so I can fill in my little book. I've got I'm a member of Worked All Britain, although I'm not active with their awards, etc. And the other place you'll find me is the first Monday of every month. You'll find me with the Cray Valley Club, my local club. We're on top band. We start off on 1.905, a lower sideband, and then about half an hour later we move on to AM, and all the old kit gets broken out, all the old AM kit, etc. One of the reasons for me trying to get that code R85 up and running is so that I can join the other old rag bags and duffers and tow rags, etc. We're using either homebrew or restored kit. So, ramble over, as I say, M0JCF, look out for me. I'll always give you a report and a nice 73, and right in between all of that, I'll give you a load of old waffle as well. And as you can see, we've done nearly 14 minutes here, so prepare to have your antennas burnt off. Cheers.